Hello, I'm Sergio Revilla, Head of Engineering at Mercadona Tech.
And I'm Emilio Carrion. I'm staff engineering of the logistics area of Mercadona Tech.
So, today, first, who we are, because Mercadona is a well-known brand in Spain, and probably most of you that doesn't know what Mercadona is, and we are the Spain's largest supermarket chain, and one of the country's most influential retail companies. It was founded in the 80s, and we have over 1,600 stores across Spain and Portugal. We mainly operate in Spain, but we are expanding to Portugal too.
Yeah, and today we're going to talk about Mercadona Online, that is our dedicated e-commerce operation. We relaunched the service in 2018, where we rebuilt everything from scratch. And what we do is allow our clients to buy groceries online, and then we deliver them to their homes. We have a lot of operational and e-commerce solutions built in-house, where we use modern technologies and we focus on data and usability. And from the logistics perspective, we do prepare orders from warehouses that we call hives, where we build the order for the client. And we also prepare orders from stores for those areas where a big warehouse is not profitable. So we build and deliver orders from the stores. And each hive or store delivers to a geographical area. So depending on you live on Spain or Portugal, so we deliver from different sites. And about delivery, so we have a last mile operation where we deliver orders in a time window from 1 hour to 2 hours through the week.
So, why FeatureOps? Why adopting a FeatureOps philosophy or culture, so to speak, in Mercadona Tech? For us, FeatureOps is more than just switching toggles on or off. It's more than doing a click in a platform to switch toggles on and off. It's a cultural technical lever for fearless delivery and an enabler to our core practices for delivering value to our customers and to the business. What happened before we had this culture of FeatureOps? At the beginning of our journey with the Mercadona Online supply chain, and which are the challenges we faced. At the beginning, releases were big bang events, and at the beginning, we were small. I mean, it can impact only to one warehouse or to one hive, and to probably 300 or 400 customers. But it was full of stress and risk. If something went wrong, rollbacks happened late at night, wasting time and creating frustration to the team, because we mainly prepare, especially in the hives, at night. So when something went wrong, you can have an on-call call, and you will wake up at 3 of the night or something like that, and you don't have the ability to roll back easily, and maybe you have to touch the database, change the state of your system. So it's full of stress and risk. And on top of that, our feedback loops were too slow. It was hard to validate hypotheses with real users quickly, which increases the risk of making the wrong investments. Also, the processes were fragments spread across teams and tools. Where is the on-call handbook for fixing this? Where is the process stated to change the state of the system, to put the system on the right state, right? So it's relying too much on manual effort and tribal knowledge. and that made visibility poor and wasted time. And all of this creates innovative bottlenecks also. So that kind of fear is creating that bottleneck of, okay, I'm not available to deliver this feature, to try this feature, to see if this feature is giving value to the business, because this rollback, these processes, if something goes wrong, is too hard, is too tedious for the people, and that makes poor and wasted time. So that's why solving these problems isn't just about engineering efficiency. We want to make very clear that for us, the feature philosophy and the use and using feature flags is not about only engineering. It's about product. It's about business. It's about business value. And in Mercadona Tech, we want to advance in agility and delivering features fast to the users. And our users are not only the e-commerce users, are the users for the e-commerce channel and for our logistics channel is the pickers, is the delivers. Okay. So some paraphrasing some phrases from people that I assume that are very clever, more clever than probably we are. What's the problem with FeatureOps? Big steps promise efficiency and fail to deliver because unpredictable consequences. And also, if you a big bang rewrite or a big bang deliver of a feature that is mostly the same, the only thing that you are setting off is a big bang. You need to deliver in small, safe steps. And FeatureOps gives you the capability of delivering in small, safe steps. You can deliver certain part of your feature, a little change of your code to production without exposing it to the users. You can validate that your code is working without breaking anything. Talking about our culture in Mercadona Tech, our engineering culture is heavily influenced by lean software development and extreme programming principles and practices. We want to deliver value fast, validate our assumptions early, and eliminate waste. We also believe in fast feedback loops, courage to make that changes, and simplicity. So, what happened with this old Big Bang model release is obviously in conflict with these values. We want to be lean. We want to we want to deliver fast. We want to have the capability to deliver that features, but not only the features, the code fast to production. We want to have continuous deployment, and this Big Bang model was in direct conflict with these values. So feature flags became the perfect enabler for these principles. They allow us to decouple deployment from release, which means that we can merge and deploy small and incomplete pieces of a feature to production without exposing them to the users. This reduces fear. So people lives more comfortably. I deliver a feature and I'm fine because I only have to switch off a feature toggle if something goes wrong. Simplifies the process and also allows us to get the real feedback from our production environment much sooner. Before feature flags or feature ops, we had to go to a hive, try it with the manager, with the picker, and the value change gets out of speed, and we want to get real feedback from the production environment much sooner.
So with all those values and principles in mind, we are going to speak a little bit about some key use cases for FeatureOps here at Mercadona Tech. About what Sergio said, we have or implement a continuous deployment or our services. We average around 4,000 deployments across all services each month, with a cycle time of development time about 13 hours. And about those deployments, we do like to do safe experimentation. So we run a lot of A/B testing through our users for the e-commerce platform and for our workers in the logistics environments. And we also need to do gradual rollouts in order to deliver new software in a gradual manner due to physical constraints and other things that we will comment later. We also need a hard real-time control of what we are deploying and where, because when we are dealing with a high-risk, high-load environment like is the logistics as an environment of a big company like ours, we need things like kill switch for disable new functionalities that can impact in our warehouse. You don't want to have like 200 workers being stopped due to a software problem. We also need to schedule things due to physical constraints, operational timings, and so on. And we also require force updates for our workers because we have to ensure that all workers have the same software version in their devices in order to prevent possible operational issues. And in order, also, of course, to reduce that mean time to restore that any incident can cause in the warehouses. And we also focus on governance because we have to have visibility of what features or products are enabled in where production sites and when and by who, because we need to have that information to be able to do the right decisions. So talking about more detail or more down-to-earth examples, we need like simple on-off activations that everybody needs, but we also have some special scenarios like activating to a small set of e-commerce users for making tests with some kind of users in physical stores. We also have to be able to activate to a small set of workers like picker of drivers when we do on-site testing that we only want to activate for key persons. We also need to activate new functionality in selected stores or warehouses due to physical constraints like having to build a physical asset. We sometimes have features that go in hand to hand with metal work, so that metal work has to be done in the on-site first in order to be able to deploy our software. We also do progressive implementation of features when we are talking about the nationwide scale of operations, because we want to deploy things in a secure manner in order to not impact the whole business. We do also scheduling, the force update I mentioned about ensuring that all workers have the same functionality. And of course, we do work on several stacks like technologies, so Django, FastAPI, mobile platforms, web React, and so on. And how did we approach this at first? Well, we, of course, did build our own in-house solution that as much a lot of people do, and that was a wrong approach, but I will mention why. We started with a high bar of requirements. We needed segmentation, rollout strategies, scheduling, governance, multi-stack support, and we tried and did build it ourselves. So we built a FeatureOps platform in-house, but we quickly learned that it was a bad decision because it had a high maintenance cost of the product in both infrastructure and incidents and problems. We had some limited capabilities, some things needed features that we are not able to provide to them. We also suffered from some kind of tribal knowledge because of the DevX team that implemented the solution, some kind of lack of documentation, some bad onboardings on the new tools. So we had a lot of noise and friction on that point. And of course, we were reinventing the wheel because all of the challenges and problems we just mentioned, they are known problems and challenges in the industry. And of course, they have been solved already in a better ways, more robust, with more robust tools. So it did not make sense to just re-implement everything that all platforms have been done.
So that's the reason why we adopted Unleash. It gave everything we needed. First of all, Unleash is also an open source tool. Okay, you can install Unleash on-prem and try it, and that's what we did. We tried it, and we saw that it had all the capabilities that we needed for our business. Okay, and it gives everything we needed: advanced regulatory strategies across our retail model, real-time governance for compliance and leadership visibility, SDKs for every stack, so we don't need to implement a solution for every stack. The ability to scale FeatureOps practices across all teams, and most importantly, it freed our engineers from maintaining tools and infrastructure, so we could focus on delivering value to the customer faster. The developer experience team disappeared when we adopted Unleash, because we were not 100% dedicated to our in-house feature flags platform, but now that those engineers are delivering value on the stream-aligned teams. And again, connecting with our core principles and values. From a lean perspective, using Unleash, having one shared robust platform like Unleash helps us to optimize the whole. Instead of each team having their needs and the developer experience teams implementing those needs on a platform, Unleash gives us everything we need to all the value chains, with all the key use cases that Emilio explained. It optimizes the whole, improves the flow across the entire value stream. And from a sim programming perspective, it improves communication and simplicity, and also the courage to deploy whenever you want. You can deploy code, but not showing the functionality to the users. Is the main difference before deployment and release. You can deploy code, but you can decide when this code is shown to the user, the functionality and the behavior of this code is shown to the users. Also, the APIs are very simple to integrate. For example, we have teams that automatically create the feature flags with the Unleash API in their continuous integration flow. The system is visible and easy to understand. Even product managers can easily go to Unleash UI and know which feature flags are activated or not. But also, how many users are being exposed to that feature flag? And the metric is I think is one of the killer features of Unleash. I've been exposed with the feature flag evaluating the true to the 50% of the users, 60% of the users, and this is very valuable for us because also we can know when we can delete a feature flag if it is stale or not. It is evaluated for a certain portion of time to the 100% of the users, and everything is going right. We can delete the feature flag. It allows us to minimize this kind of technical debt. It's very typical that you have a feature flag that lives in your code forever. If you know when a feature flag is evaluated or is stale or is already validated, you can decide when or not to delete this feature flag. And this is very important from the engineering side to know when you can delete a feature flag. And also for product, they know when this feature flag is exposed to a certain stores or certain hives, so we can take business decisions with this information about how this feature flag is evaluated and is exposed.
So just to start recapping, we are going to do a quick recap of how you use Unleash when deploying new software to our workers at Mercadona. We have 3 phases. We experiment, we validate, and we scale a product. So the first step is that we call the laboratory rollout. We have a custom environment in Unleash called laboratory, where we test a feature in some group of small stores, where we first deploy and test new functionality to check that with early data and feedback that the solution indeed covers what we need to do and the numbers match. We also have a kill switch ready in order to prevent a big impact on the stores if anything goes wrong. Next, in the second step, what we do is a production expansion. Once we test and experiment the solution in a small group of stores, we start to roll out the solution from hive to hive, stores and regions. We usually have to train the staff on new software. We have to prepare physical assets and even have to change how stores work in order to implement new software. So we do it progressively, and for that we use targeting and constraints in Unleash environments in order to just activate some things in the regions and areas where it has to be activated. In this phase, we also monitor KPIs in order to check that our solutions are working properly and on point. And finally, in the third step, once we have validated that everything goes smoothly, we have progressively implemented the new solutions on stores, we go to the stable environment or a nationwide rollout, where we have another custom environment on Unleash called the stable, where we activate the feature for all stores, all hive in all the country. We continue to do monitoring and governance of how this process goes. And from this point on, we do a continuous measurement of impact. So we end up with 3 environments: the one that is staging, that we use for testing purposes. Then we have the laboratory one, where we activate from a small group of stores, then do a progressive rollout with a special targeting on the stable environment. And when we are ready, we activate to whole stable all the changes in the whole country.
So, which are the main takeaways from this talk? This flow, the flow Emilio explained it, how we roll out the functionalities and the features to our end customers, e-commerce or logistics customers, isn't just about the clean engineering, it's about outcomes. It means we deliver value to customers faster, because deployments turn into features they actually use. It reduces risk with gradual rollouts and instant kill switches if something goes wrong. It gives teams confidence to experiment, reducing fear, to test bold ideas knowing we can validate them with real data before scaling. And it connects directly to Mercadona Tech idea and culture and practices of lean software development and STEAM programming. Okay. Most importantly, this way of working supports and helps us to advance in agility and efficiency to meet new needs, and makes FeatureOps a strategic enabler for Mercadona's and Mercadona-like future. We are growing, so we need to go fast. We want to deliver fast and adhere to these lean and STEAM programming principles. So I want to point that are the main takeaways from this talk. Okay. So thanks a lot. Thanks for your attention to this talk. Thanks for attending. We hope you like it, and we'll be pleased to answer any questions on the Q&A session. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Sergio. Thank you so much for that fantastic talk. Those are some really fun lessons learned from outgrowing your homegrown solution and migrating to Unleash. Is your audio working? I think we can hear you.
So it doesn't look like you're on mute, so I guess it's just the wrong input.
Now it should work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering, so you mentioned you use kill switches quite a lot and that it helps you reduce mean time recovery, which is of course one of the DORA metrics. I was wondering, how long does it take you to recover in cases where you don't have a kill switch? And what does that process look like?
In case that, well, we don't, I think we don't have this scenario right now, because I think we have very located that cases where a kill switch really reduces the mean time to restore. For example, we have several payment providers. So when the main payment provider that we have for the e-commerce goes down, we have a kill switch for that. I mean, we don't want to suffer any minutes in our life, and also take into account that having problems for us with 5 minutes of having our payment service down because the other payment service provider is down, it can cost us a lot of money. So, and also, that's an example for e-commerce, but for example, for the logistics side, on the preparation, we have a very, how can you say in English, a very stressful flow in the preparation. I mean, we have to start at a certain time and have all the delivers prepared at a certain time. If you have a problem on the logistics side and you don't have that kill switch or that feature flag, doesn't needs to be a kill switch. It can be a release flag or a operational flag. Delaying the preparation for 10 minutes can be critical for us because we are delivering the orders later for our customers. And our customers, as we say in Mercadona, we call them the jefes, okay? They are the bosses. So they are the most important part of our chain is the customer. So we deliver in 1 hour or 2 hour slots. So if we say to customers, we are delivering this from 9 to 10, we want to deliver this from 9 to 10. Okay, yep. So for us, the mean time to restore is very important, and we have located all the cases where those kill switches really will help us and the company to do our job as our best.
Thank you. I found the part where you were talking about your culture and being strong on lean and extreme programming very intriguing. And as you then moved into feature management and FeatureOps, did you feel like you had to, was it like a natural fit for you and the culture you had, or did you feel like you had to educate people into FeatureOps and a new way of thinking?
Well, the reality is that Mercadona Tech already grown as a machine programming team because our former CTO, Fernando Diaz, had a strong stream programming culture and strong lean culture. So we had it on our heart from the beginning. But at the beginning of the project, we didn't feel that we needed this FeatureOps culture or a FeatureOps or a feature choice platform, right? We were very small. We were validating the things in only one hive. Just a few people. We tested in staging. There is something that I don't like too much. I'm very, very fan of testing in production. That's why FeatureOps gives you the capability of testing in production, right? But as we grow, we felt that need of having that FeatureOps culture, and as we said on the talk, we develop our own platform, very simple at the beginning, on off, and that's it. But the business grow, the needs grow, and that's why we decided to see other platforms that can give us all the things that we need. But we needed to educate the people about this, because we born with those values at our core, and also we try to hire people that has these values at their core too. But it's easy for the people, because the feeling of having the freedom of releasing whenever you want, deploying whenever you want, because we have continuous deployment in all our services, is something that empowers people, and people that comes with from other companies that has other release spaces like 2 weeks or sprints or things like that. It's like very empowering for the people as developers, and for the teams, and for the product,
Absolutely.
and for the business.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. Well, thank you, Sergio. Thanks for taking the time, and it was great to have you as a speaker today.